What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have another one of my videos showcasing interesting League of Legends strategies and interesting players in the game. In this video, this is a player that I've been wanting to make a video about for a while. He is a Teemo Jungle one-trick who has reached all the way up to Challenger at certain different times in his climb, and he is just very, very interesting. His pick, his strategy, there's a lot of great stuff to talk about, so that's why I wanted to make this video. So let's get right into it. This is the story of Manco, the Challenger Teemo Jungle player. So first up, I think one of the most important and interesting things about Manco is this opening route and opening strategy that he's been doing and making work in Season 10. So also something really big before we get into this is that before each camp he does go invisible, so you get the attack speed increase once you come out of invisibility. That's going to be really important. It's something he does before every single camp. So as you can see here, he just starts out by doing the red buff, and he's going to get the leash, going to be a very standard opening, and then he's going to go straight into the Krugs. This is the clear that I've seen him do in all of his Season 10 games so far. He goes invisible again, obviously. He starts killing the Krug. He's kiting him around, using the medium Krug to kind of shield him from the damage of the big Krug. He kills the big Krug, kills the medium Krug, kills 2 of the small Krugs, and then leaves the rest. So I think that's pretty interesting. Then he heads straight to the Raptors, where he is going to smite the big Raptor and kill none of the small Raptors. So he skipped a lot of the Krugs and a lot of the Raptors so far, just because those AoE camps are just so difficult for Teemo to do at the beginning of the game. He doesn't need to go invisible on the Raptors since he is smiting it anyway. He has plenty of damage. He doesn't need the attack speed increase, and you'd be wasting time by going invisible there. Then he likes to get a deep ward down, go straight into the blue buff, and by the time he finishes the blue buff, he'll then be ready to fight for crabs and do whatever he needs to do from there. But he has found this to be the best opening. This is the opening he goes in all of his games. This is a Diamond 1 game, which so far in Season 10, it's one of the highest rank you can get right now. He's ranked 112 in North America, so this is a high elo game. This is the peak of North American solo queue, and this is the route that he goes to make this Teemo Jungle work. So it's pretty crazy, and definitely something that if you're interested in playing this pick, you need to take note of. I think some of the other interesting things, his skill order, he maxes E first, into Q, into W. Some people, kind of go back and forth of which better between E and Q. Obviously that's usually lane Teemo, but for the jungle he is maxing the E. As far as his build, he likes to go Runic Echoes into Sorcerer's Shoes, and then a Nashor's Tooth, followed by Leandry's Void Staff, and then the last item situational. It can be something like a Lich Bane, a Morello's, or any other, kind of situation, team dependent items, stuff like that. But the main core of the build is the Runic Echoes into the Sorks, into the Nashor's Tooth, and after 3 items you really become a monster, and that's where you kind of start really being able to take over games. That's where this pick really becomes useful. Also, the runes obviously are pretty important. There's a million different runes that Teemo can run. He's so versatile, so useful, and a lot of people find success with a lot of different runes for lane Teemo, but Manco's page for the jungle is Dark Harvest, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collector, Ravenous Hunter, Legend Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. That is the page I see him go like 90% of games. Every once in a while he'll pull out like a Press the Attack or Electrocute or something like that, but if you just want that cookie cutter standard page, he's going to Dark Harvest most often. It's what helps Teemo scale into a monster. It makes him really strong. Obviously increasing the shroom damage makes it so annoying, but just his damage in general, which you're not picking Teemo Jungle for the early game, so obviously making him even more of a monster in the late game, and potentially even making him a monster even quicker if you're able to stack it up a lot in the early game and in the mid game, then that's going to make this pick with this rune set very successful. Manco talks about Teemo Jungle, kind of his matchups, how you're able to make it work, all that stuff. He talks about how Teemo Jungle doesn't have any winning matchups, so if you're considering playing Teemo Jungle, you have to know that you need to be pathing away from the enemy jungler a lot. He's not looking to fight people really early at all. This is going to take a lot of thought into your pathing. Going to the uncontested crab. Which crab do you think the enemy jungler is going to go to? When do I think he's going to invade me? Finding those creative routes and being unpredictable so that whatever he thinks you're going to do, you're going to be away from him, because pre-6, you're really not looking to fight. There's not many, if any, matchups, especially with meta junglers, that you're going to be winning. So that is something you really have to keep in mind. Be creative, be unpredictable, but also be smart. Don't just do some stupid path that doesn't even make sense and is terrible, but do paths that make sense that you think can help you outplay the other jungler, because Teemo isn't really going to be fighting people early game. When Manco talks about his Teemo Jungle pick, he kind of relates it to a Master Yi jungle. He says, you don't do a lot pre-6, so you are looking to scale, you are looking to farm up, and you and your team both need to know that, so they're not expecting anything more from you early. But Teemo obviously can gank, and he talks about how he, just like Master Yi, he's only looking for those free ganks or those ganks with red buff. Once you have red buff, you really can start to apply the slows to people, obviously, and you start to be a little bit more useful, and maybe, especially in a longer lane like top or bot, you might be able to get a surprise kill, even pre-6, even when you're not super strong. But other than that, you're really only looking for people that are way over pushed, and you're looking to get camps to farm up and become stronger, because, again, this is that scaling pick. One reason that Manco does like the Teemo Jungle, and a lot of people are concerned about like objectives and stuff, you know, when you have champions like Olaf, Warwick, these guys that are just able to solo objectives and take stuff down so fast, once you hit 6 as Teemo, you actually have really great objective control. You're able to make shroom minefields around these objectives. So if someone does want to try and sneak a dragon or solo a dragon or sneak a Rift Herald or something like that, one, they're going to take a big chunk of their health, and two, you're going to know immediately and you're going to be alerted to that, and then you can either plan accordingly with your team to roam over and then set up your own take on the objective, or you're just able to push them off the objective entirely, and then you're able to scale up and get stronger in the game and waste their time while you're not even having to be there. You're able to fight them off objectives from far away, and having those shrooms, especially as they start to get stronger and stronger into the game, is going to be so useful for objective control. This can be used to fight people off of objectives, to clear waves. You can just be so annoying for the enemy team, and that's stuff that Teemo top lane obviously has done for many years and years and years, but you're just trying to get that same idea for Teemo Jungle as well, where maybe you have even more access to getting your shrooms down around objectives and stuff, since you don't have the lane and lane control, wave management, all that stuff to worry about. Now, a little bit about Manco, since he is this really interesting player. Like, where did he come up with the strategy? Why has he been doing this? He's been a master player since Season 4, playing on the Teemo, and he says he doesn't do it because he thinks Teemo Jungle is better than Teemo top. Like something like Skarner in that Murthos video is that Skarner and Murthos, he says that he thinks Skarner top is actually better than jungle. He thinks he's doing a more viable, more optimal strategy. Manco doesn't think that with Teemo. He says, you know, Teemo top probably is better. Probably doesn't make sense what I'm doing, but it's what he's found has worked for him. And if he's able to achieve Challenger with this, he's been up to Challenger before. He ended Season 9 Grandmaster. He's been up and down between Grandmaster and like D2, D1. Since Season 4, he kind of always fluctuating. But if he is able to achieve those high ranks, he really must know what he's doing. And every person, every strategy, it's going to fit people differently. He isn't able to find success with Teemo on top lane. He doesn't have the desire to, but he's dedicated to making this strategy work, completely optimizing it, min-maxing everything, and he's reached all the way to Challenger, which really shows if there's a pick, if there's a champion that you like, that you think would be interesting, that you think you could really put the time into, that you can definitely do it, because he didn't reach Challenger because Teemo Jungle is overpowered or sleeper OP pick or anything like that. He did it just because he was dedicated and so smart about all the things that he does and finding ways to make this work. I said he has been bouncing up and down since Season 4 all through the ranks, but so far he's off to such a hot start in Season 10. He has a 60% win rate, and as I said before, he's actually Diamond 1 81 LP as of me recording this video right now, which puts him at rank 112 in North America. Diamond 1 is one of the highest ranks you can be right now. Grandmaster hasn't unlocked yet, so you can get into Master, but a lot of people haven't done it yet since you have to have that crazy win rate. You have to be grinding games because the season just started a few days ago. But he's able to find success with it, and he's off to a very hot start. So maybe this year he can achieve new heights and new ranks and get super high up into Challenger, even though he has historically fluctuated up and down. But he's always been one of the top North American solo queue players. So he definitely has things that you can learn from. Even if you aren't a Teemo Jungle player, if you are a Teemo player, there's things you can learn from him no matter what. His build, his rune page, everything, it's always changing. So if this is a strategy you're interested in, if this is a guy you're interested in, definitely go check out all of his content. He has a YouTube, he has Twitch, and looking at people's OP.GGs and everything can be so telling and so interesting. If a new build that comes out is super good, he's going to be spamming it. If he decides a new rune page is better, he's going to be spamming it. New opening routes as jungle changes happen, all of that stuff. These are the ways that you can stay up to date with people, but I'll definitely have all of his stuff linked below. But I just thought this was a super interesting player. I know I have this series going where I talk about these different strategies, these different kind of players, different champions, all that stuff. And you guys seem to be liking them so far, so I wanted to get this video out to you guys, and I want to keep this stuff coming. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Manco and his Teemo Jungle pick? Is it completely troll? Do you think there's something there? Would you be, really mad if you got a Teemo Jungle on your team? Hopefully this isn't coming to solo queue near you. But if you're interested in playing this, I wanted to at least provide you the best information so you can troll your team not as much as you would be otherwise. Definitely subscribe, stay up to date on all of my latest content. We got tons more League of Legends video just like this one coming to you guys in the near future. Ton of content coming out in Season 10. I'm really hyped about League, and I know a lot of people are too, so I'm excited to be getting these videos out. Also, if you have an idea for what player I should do next, that would be awesome. I'd like to get ahead, kind of start following people so I can research and make these videos and stuff, because it certainly takes time. But yeah, hopefully I see you guys all in the next video. Until then, peace.